showing everyone my vagina.
Whoa. I always kind of wondered.
All right. You heard it.
Wonder no more.
Stay tuned.
What really got me, this is like some Juneteenth shit, dude. You know, where the slaves didn't know that they were free.
Right.
These motherfuckers didn't know that the shit changed, and now they're celebrating on a day that is no longer.
The term April Fools were for people that weren't updated.
Yep.
What's up, junkies? We're back. We're here on a very special day. It's April Fool's, baby. That's right. It's the day of pranksters, right? Right? Yeah. This is it. We're goofing around.
bro.
Yeah. We might not even actually be here on April Fool's. Actually,
Might not even be the right
this might not even be the day. Yeah.
No.
So
You don't know.
You have no idea what's going on. Okay.
Digital realm.
But we're gonna talk about the where it all started, actually, why it started, and we're gonna tell you a few of our own stories, of our own little shenanigans.
You know how we're closing it out?
Huh.
I'm showing everyone my vagina.
Whoa. I always kind of wondered.
All right.
No,
You heard it.
Wonder no more.
Stay tuned.
He's a
Wonder
very
no
sensible
more.
man. I've always wondered.
I know.
So I've actually always wondered where this came from too. Like,
Yeah, same
just
here.
like anything else, you know.
Yeah, never cared to look into it.
Never cared to look into it either.
Didn't give a
My
shit.
vagina? Oh.
Oh yeah, that too. Definitely. If you were pregnant, I wouldn't be there to watch it come out.
He's crowning.
He's gone. No, too much.
But yeah, let's get into it. Where the hell did this thing start? Why did it start?
Well, supposedly, I mean, I've found it all the way back to 1392,
Okay.
and this is controversial, but the holiday was referenced in the Canterbury Tales.
Okay, which is a book, right?
It was a book, yeah.
Right.
1392 was just referenced as a goof
Right.
kind of holiday.
Not meant to be a holiday.
Not really. Just people. People like just fucked with each other on this day, or maybe this week even. Right. That was like they really don't even know. That's just like maybe, but like the most written down, I guess, would be like the 1500s, possibly 1582 in France, and they adopted the Gregorian calendar, and a bunch of people, didn't get the memo because they don't have a phone or anything that we have nowadays to update the imagery or any of the information, and they never found out. So a bunch of people started clowning on the people that didn't find out, and they called them April Fools.
Because right, remember tell them what the calendars were.
Oh, well, the calendars were, it was March 25th to April 1st was the first calendar. And then they switched the calendar system and changed it to January 1st.
Because the new year was based on spring.
Yeah.
It
used to be in March.
The rebirth.
Yeah.
Rebirth.
And they were
It
just
used-
like, if you're not on board, too bad.
Fuck it. Yeah, no, they're just like, you know what? Yeah, just like they're talking about doing like cutting off the time. What is
Daylight
it?
savings.
Yeah, daylight savings time and shit. Same thing. They're just like, or no, what really got me, this is like some Juneteenth shit, dude. Where the slaves didn't know that they were free.
Right.
These motherfuckers didn't know that the shit changed, and now they're celebrating on a day that is no longer,
a day.
Yeah, a day. Well, it was a week.
Right,
And
right.
then now it's a day. It's like, what the fuck?
So that the term April Fools were for people that weren't updated.
Yep.
Right.
Pretty much.
Okay, and then how did it transition into like an actual prank day? Do we know that?
Well,
That's where it gets-
that in itself. It was said that the people who didn't know were considered by the intelligentsia to be fools.
Okay.
To be fools because anyone who didn't get the memo
Wasn't in the know.
Yeah, well, they weren't in the know, and so it was kind of from what I kind of a societal class system almost, like you were either in the know or you weren't in the know, and if you weren't, you were the fools, and you were open to be
Ridiculed.
fooled with,
Right.
ridiculed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The butt of jokes.
Yes.
Butt of jokes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And I guess I don't know if this the origin of the phrase fools, but in French, because that was in France when that all kind of the transition started, then people would play pranks on the people who were not in the know by slapping maybe paper fish on their backs or on their butt.
Oh, okay.
And in French, it's poisson d'avril, which is fish of April.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's April fish, April
fish.
fools.
Yeah, April
I don't know
fish.
if that
Yeah,
term
exactly.
is
It's April fish, man.
and it's fish because I guess the French in their silliness, they thought that if you are young and gullible, like how fish were, then you're easily caught.
Oh, I see.
So they called people that did not know April fish
Wow.
because they were gullible.
You just
Right.
don't fish, you're gonna get caught.
You gonna get caught.
You're gonna get caught.
But you know what? The whole springtime and all that as the beginning of a new year, it makes sense in the sense of that, why would you start a year or why would you start a season or anything when there's still winter and death and stuff?
Yeah.
Spring is very logical in a sense to have as your beginning.
Right.
It's the beginning.
Yeah,
It's
Yep.
new, right? It's not a set date, but with Asian cultures,
Okay.
the new year is also revolving around when spring is.
Right.
So our new year is always going to be different every time because it depends on when the full
When it
moon
actually
is.
This
started,
shit happens,
Right.
yeah.
So
Is
like
the
for
full
instance,
moon, or is that it, or not the equinox where the
I believe
sun
I
is?
believe it's the moon, which is why to say the generic term like Happy Lunar New Year versus say Happy Chinese or Happy Vietnamese New Year. It's funny because people say to me hey Twee, Happy Chinese New Year. I'm like, that's cool. I'm not Chinese, but you know what I mean. It's like me saying I don't know, whatever. But it just depends
Happy
on
Canadian
the
New Year, Mike.
It depends on the lunar cycle.
Right.
So it just makes sense that spring is the start of stuff
Right.
for other cultures.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And they
Yeah.
wait for it though. That I like that.
Birth.
That they're-
Right.
Right.
But we don't have a set day. It's not always April 1st, or it's not always February
It's like
25th.
It's like an accountant's worst nightmare. It's like the numbers don't line up.
Yes.
Yeah.
When cookie cuttered this shit, now you're trying to move it a month up.
Yeah.
Freak them the fuck out.
Well, interesting. Well, it's weird how it's turned into a whole different thing now.
Oh, good God.
Yeah, April Fools. As a day, I kind of wake up with a little bit of anxiety. Do you know what I mean? I had an older brother. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, good Christ.
We did some things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back in the day, I tried to stay out of it because I never wanted to really be a part of it. I'm not trying to get in the middle
Okay.
of some kind of shit.
Let me try by asking you guys this question, because this is always something I always find kind of not controversial. That's the right word, but engaging, if you will. I know some people who love pranks, and I know some people who are
Hate 'em.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
They take it so personal, they'll swing on you. You know what I
Damn
mean?
right.
Yeah.
People get knocked the fuck out on April Fools.
I'm guessing this. I think I know where you fucking fall then. Okay. So you don't like pranks at all,
Not really.
but you like doing them.
Well, I don't. No, I just said that. I don't really do pranks on people because I come from a place where you'll get fucked up, straight the fuck up. You don't
Right.
You come from a certain area. You don't do that shit. dude.
What area?
Like the fucking hood. You
Okay,
don't,
yeah.
you
So
don't-
it's just white antics.
You know?
It's acceptable.
It's like we have. Well, yeah. Well, you see strollers going around and dogs in them.
Yeah.
You can prank those people, but you don't go into you don't go on to MLK and see a bunch of fucking people pranking each other because you get fucking shot.
yeah.
Straight the fuck up.
Okay, that's
It's
interesting.
just my side.
What about you? Are you a prankster? I think I take you as a little bit of a prankster.
I like to joke around and stuff, but it depends. It depends on how severe. I'm not gonna do the plastic film over the toilet or things like
That's
that.
hilarious
Oh,
to me.
yeah, I'm sure it is until you're the one it happened to.
Yeah, I mean, if I get got, you got me. I've been pranked many of times.
With shit all over your ass?
No, I'm not that
Okay,
stupid.
yeah.
I can sense when it's there.
That's when people get fucking shot.
No, usually it was number one, and it would just spray all over my shorts, and it would just rebound at me, and I would go, ha, you got me. Good one. Go change my shorts now. Thanks for that.
I would prank people probably verbally, but not actual pranks like that.
What about you, Les? Are you more, do you like pranks, or?
I'm not a big prankster. I've done it, but and I would be like Twee, something verbal, something
Right.
that where you got somebody that's not you know that this person is not into April. You have to know that they're not into April Fools. They're not into it. you know. And if you know they're that kind of person, then you can catch them early in the day before they. You have to catch them real early. It's almost like it has to be somebody in your household or something, a neighbor that you're going to see first thing in the morning, you know, where you can go to the mailbox, pull out a piece of mail, and go, oh my God, you know, and, you know, or something like that. Or you know, go knock on their door and say, you know, there's a pony in your backyard. I don't know. But I've never been one to do something that would make somebody just freak the fuck out.
Okay, so
you know,
that's interesting.
Personally,
because usually April Fool's is a lie. Like usually you're trying to sell a lie on April Fool's, right?
Yes.
But not necessarily a prank per se, right? I guess
that could be a prank.
Is it a? I guess
well, it's when people start really trying to focus on, like, okay, don't prank me about my kids. Don't prank me to make me think that life is no fight or flight pranks. You know what I mean? No fight or flight
like
pranks.
Jumping out.
Yeah, don't jump. Don't jump out of me. I'm gonna hit you. I don't care if we're at Disney World or Universal Studios. I'm gonna make you.
All right, so one time
you could go out like when you say a prank. Like you could say you had a type of paint or something that would wash off with water. You know what I mean? And you go and somebody has a brand new car, and you paint, you know, crazy shit on it or whatever. Where when they walk out, it's they're they're fucking
pissed,
livid.
They're going in their trunk.
Yeah,
they're going in their trunk for the gun that's in their fucking trunk to shoot you,
and not a joke gun. Yeah.
Were you gonna share like maybe like?
So yeah, we had one where we pranked my friend, where he had a job interview, so. Like I forget how exactly. I think he was taking a nap or something, and he was like sleeping before the interview, and we drew a bunch of shit on his face, and like we like turned off his alarm, so he like woke up like maybe 10 minutes before the interview, and we were like, dude, you gotta go, and he was like, oh no, and he went the interview and he had like just like a unibrow and like a teardrop and stuff like that, and he didn't get the job, but he was, you know, we were like 16, 17, so it didn't really matter, if you will. But
we did one that was good, but it ended up not so good. College, my first year in college, living in a dormitory, and the way our dormitory rooms were set up, there was a bathroom in the middle. And then a room on either side. And in each room, there was a desk in the middle of the room, a bed. So there's 4 people. There's 4 quadrants. So, you know, 4 people shared a common kind of area, but you had your space. So one of my buddies was right across the hall from me. And one of the 4, he wasn't a bad guy. He's just kind of nerdy. And he just kind of got on your nerves because we were partying, and he was one of those guys that was like, you know, like, you shouldn't be doing that. You know, that kind of a guy. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I'm trying to study. Study? What the fuck is that? You know what I mean? It's like, you know, and so, yeah, he was just that kind of guy. And he just annoyed us like the whole fall semester. And so we got into the spring semester. April Fool's comes up. So he goes to class that morning. We go in and we take everything he owns out of the thing. We strip it totally clean. Totally clean. Everything out. Bed, everything. We just put it over in the other room. So that when he walked in, there's nothing.
Oh, man.
There's nothing there but a note that just says, time for you to go home. And
shit.
Some dick shit.
You know what I mean?
A message.
Pretty dick.
And you know, we were prepared. He would be pissed, and then we would go, it's right over here. And we were gonna bring all the shit back and everything. You know what I mean? But what we expected was for him to get pissed and start yelling at us or whatever, and then we could. But he didn't. He walked in, saw and left.
Oh no!
And went the fuck home.
Oh no!
Like to Illinois or wherever the fuck.
Oh, dude, he
lived. He left.
Oh my god!
He left.
That's what I'm saying. Shit can go wrong.
Yes.
You know, like, don't prank motherfuckers, man.
He left home with a depression.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we, of course, we brought all the shit, put it back, you know, and somebody knew how to contact him and said, "Hey, man, just tell me we're just fucking around," you know.
back.
But I don't think he ever. I think he
Probably
came
not.
back and got his shit, but I
And
don't think that was it.
Wow.
He was done.
I got
Holy
pranked, man.
crap.
I don't know.
But you know, that just goes to show he wasn't cut out for that shit.
No, definitely not. He was
know, we
too
probably did him a
smooth
favor.
skinned,
He didn't
man.
pass the test.
Too smooth skin, yeah.
No, he
doubt.
needed to go back home. Yeah, for sure. But
I remember
that
one-
was bad. I don't think we ever did anything else like that.
Yeah, I feel pretty bad about that.
We
Yeah.
No,
did.
I
We
do
felt
too.
bad.
I'm feeling really bad for this guy. Like that's like
was-
fucked up. You you changed his whole college career.
We
Possibly. You know, like,
we changed the course of his life in a fucking hour.
he was gonna be a fucking scientist, and now
Yeah.
he's working at McDonald's.
I know.
You know, but-
He's a quitter.
Sad.
yeah, I got pranked. I don't know if it was a really one on April Fools or whatever, but the only prank that I can really remember that fucked me up like hardcore was like one of my first job actually. And I'm a Kelly, so this thing got me a little bit. Like they started throwing potatoes at me. I'm in the dish. I'm in the dish pit, bro. I'm in the dish pit because it's the first job I could get. You know, I'm in the dish pit doing dishes, and they're throwing potatoes. And then so I started throwing some potatoes back at the kitchen staff or whatever. And then these motherfuckers threw a full fucking potato at me.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I don't know if you know Irish people, potato. So, you know, these
Feels
motherfuckers.
racist.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever, dude. That's what we're known for. Potato.
Potato.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You know, is what it is. And so I took this potato and I fucking beamed it back at him. I hit the motherfucker square in the fucking chest.
Yeah.
With a potato. So he decides that was, you know, like, that was that we're just gonna bombard me with a bunch, like mashed potatoes. So at this point, I feel bullied, and this is my first fucking job. And so what I ended up doing is I walked out to the back during just a small little break, and there's this, you know, that slop tray, that shit where everything gets poured into, you know, chemicals, grease, the whole nine. I went to it. I took a giant pitcher and I went into it and I grabbed it up, and I knew we had a brand new car, brand new white, fucking beautiful fucking car, and I poured it all over the top of his car, just thinking it was gonna get, you know, covered in oil. My prank got a lot better.
Yeah.
It ate the paint away off of his fucking car, and I got fired from my first job. You know, like, straight the fuck up. But I loved it. Like, don't fuck with me, you racist little fuck. You know, like, I'm gonna get you. And yeah, I had no clue. I just thought it was gonna cover his car in oil. Didn't know that they put degreaser. and
None of that
chemicals
felt
and
like
all
a
that
prank.
shit. No, dude. Like, I thought.
Destruction of property.
Well, it
Vengeance.
started as a prank. It ended in destruction of property and maybe possible killing. Don't prank people.
What year was this?
Well, I just came in. I have a job
80s?
at 14. 14. So
90s?
I was born in
Had to
82.
be 90s,
so
yeah.
90s. 90.
The 90s, there was still racism
94.
against the Irish? Where the fuck were you? Are you kidding me?
Dude, there's always somebody that hates somebody in
know,
every
but-
kitchen or restaurant.
They were old school racists. They were the old type.
I'm telling you, man. That's
still
a
hate the
throwback
Irish.
there,
Yeah,
man.
right. They still hate it.
You
Hey, I just-
fucking Mick.
Yeah.
Really? Really? 1994.
That's so fucking funny.
Too stupid.
Oh,
but yeah,
God.
I didn't take shit. So
You got one?
I have a couple. I have like a prank that I actually pulled on Ashley. Again, I'm more like verbal, at least, you know, now being older and stuff. But what I did like stupid stuff when I was like younger too. But as recent as like a couple years ago, when she was kind of preparing and getting ready to go off and move to a dorm, USF actually. So this is her first time away from home, like living away from home. She's been away from home, but living kind of sort of like on her own, as much as you can be in a dorm. You still have your meals prepared and all that, but it's a big deal, right?
Yeah.
So
Scary.
it's like
By the way, that's where I was when we packed the guy up. that's the part of life I was at.
Right.
So yeah.
Getting to be independent a little bit, finding yourself. Well, it was a big deal. It was March, and we've been doing all this like stuff for financial aid and just getting her prepared and figuring out who her roommate was, which is a friend of hers in high school, and just figuring out the little logistics and how she would come home on the weekends and things like that. And then I decided, which is pretty mean, but she didn't realize like the date and stuff, because we're getting all this like financial aid stuff prepared in March. And she's been taking like all these like SATs to get ready and try to just boost her score a little bit higher and higher for scholarships and stuff. And then I told her one day through text that, hey, I'm so happy I found myself an apartment in Tampa, and that I'd be moving and living closer to her. And that, I can't wait. I'm going to show her all around my alma mater and show her all my old stomping grounds. And she's like, wait. She's like, what?
She was so pissed. She thought she got away from you.
Oh, my gosh. She was so full of anxiety. And everyone was like, oh, that's so mean. They were like, when are you going to tell her? I'm like, I'm going to let her, like, kind of think about it for a little. Yeah.
I'm going to be living right next door.
Oh, man, that was so mean.
I'll walk you to class.
I was like, oh, it's gonna be great. I was just like, what classes are you taking? What's your schedule? And just
I'm thinking about signing up myself.
Oh man, she was just like, what about your jobs? And what about, like, she was just like, how are you gonna move? I let her like marinate in that and like I don't know, for like a day and a half. And then I finally told her, I was like, Ash, what day is it? She's like, and then she realized it was an April Fool's joke.
Oh my God, that's
so mean.
That wasn't
that's
too bad, though.
real bad.
That's pretty good.
That wasn't too bad.
She had nightmares.
That was kind of character building.
Character building.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like your mom can fuck with you that
Yes,
hard.
she didn't quit school.
Right? Like she could have been 12 years old. Houdini
I'm going back to Vietnam.
Like, I'm out of here.
Yep.
I can't live this
I'm gonna get on the next longboat out
I
of this bitch.
haven't seen her in 2 years. Ash, call me.
I hope you're still doing well.
This was the one that I was talking about that was pretty ruthless. So we had this family friend, and she's been like an old family friend, but she was married to this guy. And what he did, so it was like the week leading up to April Fool's. What he did is, and this was back on like VHS days, he copied, or he like did a recording of like Powerball. Yeah. This is brutal.
Oh,
So
no.
he put it in the VCR,
Kill
and
a
then
bitch.
bought lotto tickets that matched up to the winnings. And so she thought she won like, I think it was like $18 million or something like that. Wow. And then let her marinate in it
I hate those people.
for a whole week.
Oh, no.
So she called everybody she knew. She called her boss and quit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was bad. Like,
I'd kill a bitch.
and then, if you know anything about like collecting a lottery, you have to like do it on the weekend or whatever. So so they had to wait, right? So she's like all excited to go up to Tallahassee to like get her check and everything. And then as they're like packing up the car, he was like, "Honey, what day is it?" And she's like, "Well, yeah." She had no fucking clue, completely like. And he's like, "It's April Fool's," and he's like, "Yeah, you didn't win anything." And they got divorced. They got divorced like within a year. I'm not even kidding. Because you got to think about the psyche.
Bro.
Like she thought her whole life had changed. You know what I mean?
And now she's gonna change something, and it's
she was
you,
calling
bitch.
people, crying, being like, and like making promises to these people.
Well, it's one thing to do that and let them do that for a couple of hours.
Yeah, but
at
days?
the most.
If that, yeah,
Days?
Yeah, at the most.
for a while she thought.
Because that's a prank I've heard before.
Oh yeah.
It happens all the time.
He
They
thought
do
he'd
it
one up
real quick.
everybody.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the
I
divorce.
mean, they even have the fucking cards where you scratch off and it makes you think
the
you're a
fake
winner
lottery,
and shit.
yeah.
But then they
look,
tell you.
You look closer and you're like,
yeah,
no.
you're like, oh, okay. I'm
Yeah, no,
pranked.
she was like full. I just think like she was depressed for a while actually after that.
You think?
Yeah,
You-
like,
she's depressed to this very fucking day.
yeah,
Did she not commit suicide?
No, she's
'Cause, like,
still with
that's
us.
Really? Yeah. Okay.
But like,
Because
that's a
Fuck,
life-changing amount of money.
you don't do that to people, man.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
You don't do that to people. People's psyches
That guy
are
was a dickhead.
fucking like glass, bro.
Yeah.
You don't shatter bitches like that.
That's like telling somebody died.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
bro.
know,
And then let him think it for a week.
yeah.
Your son died, and then like 2 days later, ha ha!
April
Here he
Fool.
is.
Yeah,
he was
exactly.
just a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
You know, like, well, fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It was a big deal actually.
That was
Like
bad.
it kind of the family was very mad.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, dude.
But, man.
All
Well-
right. Well, yeah. What do you got?
Oh no, I was gonna say like those are like some of like the pranks that either we've heard about or done. But I had like some very kind of ranging from mild to like just ranging from like genius examples of pranks. But back in the day, I guess there's a Fleming poem that talked about some of the fool's errands that they would have, like pranks basically, they would play on people. And I'm just like, wow, that's, pretty tame, with today's standards. But one of the things that they would do, and they would really think that they had like one up on somebody, was like make someone run on an errand to find, to go to a bookshop and find the history of Eve's grandmother.
Okay.
Eve, as in the first
Adam
woman
and
ever.
Eve?
Yes. So I'm like, oh wow, that's so
funny.
gosh darn silly.
That is hilarious.
And another one was to go to a chemist's shop for pigeon's milk.
oh, they're milking pigeons now.
So very, very timid. Very not timid, but very,
Like gotcha.
Benign.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got a few by year, and I organized them by year starting from 1957.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus.
And there's only like 6 of them.
Oh,
so,
okay, all right.
Yeah, there's only
I thought, how long is this?
I got
gonna
like
go on?
20,000 fucking
He's going back to
pranks.
1700s. Holy fuck, man.
So, fresh out of the cave, let's go to Pluto. Allegory to the cave
The
style.
history of pranks.
Here's Plato's, like, what he thought. No. Okay, so, in 1957, and there was a video. It was black and white, and it was hilarious. The spaghetti tree. They made people believe that this tree
Could grow
was growing
spaghetti.
spaghetti.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right before in 1957. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. 1977, The Guardian, the periodical, said that a semicolon-shaped island was found in the Indian Ocean, and credited to have started April Fools in the British tabloids.
Okay.
So that one was like what I guess was their kindling to start fucking with people. 1985, Sports Illustrated stepped up to the plate and said that found a player in the middle of nowhere called Sid Finch, and he could throw a 165-mile-an-hour fastball.
Oh, wow.
And the author's name was George Plimpton. But and he left
Paper Lion.
Yeah, and he left a clue. The whole sub headline, the beginning of each word spelled out "Happy April Fools."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if the smart ones figured it out, and I guess
And George Plimpton was a famous
Yeah.
journalist, investigative journalist, and
That's funny.
yeah.
Yep, and he fucked with them, and he set it up for the smart
All
people.
the scouts trying to look for this guy.
I know, like 165-mile-an-hour fastball.
It's impossible.
Oh, he's gonna change my career.
Yeah.
So in 1992, NPR decided they were gonna say Nixon's gonna run for president again.
Wow.
I thought that shit was funny as hell.
Wow.
NPR did that to some people on an April Fool's 92.
When did he die? I mean,
I don't know.
before
man.
that, right?
No.
No, he was
wow.
still alive.
Oh,
He was
wow.
still alive, but he was like he was
out.
he was probably older than Biden is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
or some
yeah.
shit
Well,
like
yeah,
that.
he was ousted in 72.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Exactly.
20 years later, and he had to be in his 60s.
He's probably like on his deathbed.
Yeah.
You know,
I gotta
like,
look it up. I gotta look it up. Keep
yeah.
talking.
Okay, so in 1996, Taco Bell decided they said they purchased the Liberty Bell. And they're gonna call it the Taco Liberty Bell.
That would piss off so many.
I remember that
patriots.
one. I remember that
I
one.
love that.
That is un-American.
And this is probably what I'm guessing is when we're not allowed to do lie so much. Like I'm sure this is where corporations probably got some rules and regulations on what they can say.
Yeah, like false advertising.
Yeah. Because all right, and then 2008 BBC. This is probably the best one of all time. In 2008, BBC they did this whole like March of the Penguins shit, right?
Okay.
Online, and then they fucking said they're like, and maybe it was the beginning of CGI because that's what it looked like. They're like, but we found this one penguin and it can fly. And then they started like all these penguins started flapping and flying up. Yeah, dude. I swear to God, man. Look it up. It's on there. 2008, BBC fucked with people and said they found a fucking penguin that could fly. And and then 2013, this is the last one. YouTube decided that they were gonna go on a decade-long hiatus to go through all the uploads of the last 8 years. And of course they fucking didn't do that shit.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so those are my favorites.
By the way, Nixon died in 94.
So 94.
2 years later.
2 years
So 2 years, yeah, so he was on his deathbed.
Yeah.
And he's gonna run for president.
Gotta run again, yeah.
So here's one that there was a prank that I'm sure was done on April Fools because it was a popular prank, at least in the Southeast, and I've heard this in other places too. And it kind of comes from if you grow up in a culture of men and women, but mostly men that hunt and fish, and you grow up that way, and you're into it. You're really into it. So you take a young kid. They got me on it. Okay. You take a young kid who's maybe grammar, I don't know, 10 years old, and you go to not they call it a snipe hunt.
Okay.
The
snipe hunt.
Snipe.
Do y'all know if y'all?
Of course.
Because a lot of people have heard. And
I have an
the
old
way
Boy Scout in my family.
and the way we did it was, and the way you did it was, is that it was right. You didn't go way out in the woods. You could do it right in the neighborhood.
Right.
You go. This is the time of the year that the snipes
come out.
And they would tell us it was a type of bird.
Right.
Of bird. And
so they're looking up in dark trees.
And what you did was you took a coffee. What they did was you took a coffee can, and you took the lid off the top. You poked a hole in the bottom. You take a piece of twine. You run it through it with a knot. You put a little kerosene or something like that on the twine, so that when you pull it, it vibrates and it makes the can go make a noise. Make a noise. And so you tell the kid, and so all the parents are sitting up in somebody's backyard, drinking beer, smoking and
weed,
farting around. Back then it wasn't weed; it was just smoke. But they're all sitting up there and just laughing every time they hear. And the bet is, how long will that stupid son of a bitch stay in that bush?
Out in the bush.
Down in that bush. How long will it? It's almost like how dedicated is the kid?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right, like a test.
Yeah. It's like, because the kid that was really the type of kid that was the type of kid that was a go-getter. They would stay down there for like hours. They're not going to give up.
You're like, I found the fucking
you're
snipe.
like, that's not.
It's a dead pigeon. Yeah. Did you kill it yourself?
Yes.
That's how you test it.
The old snipe hunt.
Yeah. It's like found it. It was in a nest sleeping with these other little birds.
Exactly. One of the ones I found that Matt didn't mention was, I guess, a couple years after the Taco Bell prank, there was one year in '98 that Burger King actually advertised a left-handed Whopper sandwich.
Oh.
And I guess they had an ad or something or a commercial that stated that they would stack the condiments and all the things like the tomato and the lettuce proportionately more on one side, so that as you bit into the sandwich, it wouldn't leak out of the burger or squeeze out of the burger. Yeah. So I guess they had to, give up the jig because customers were notoriously requesting the fake sandwich.
Right.
A left-handed Whopper.
That's hilarious.
What year was this?
98.
Yeah, I'd be pretty annoyed if I worked at Burger King and I'm like, we don't have a left hand. Just give him a burger.
Just sell it to them.
Just give it to him. Yeah.
Of course you have a left-handed Whopper.
Yes.
We've always had a left-handed Whopper.
We got right hand, left
We're
hand.
just informing you.
It's like a left-handed pool stick.
We have a left-handed chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Like we have the imprints of your fingers in there, just so it fits.
Left-handed
perfectly.
toilet paper.
Yes. There you go.
All right, guys. Well, I think we did it.
I think we
fooled them.
Hey,
April
this
Fools,
would be a
baby.
good one for people to, write in their.
Yeah.
Yeah,
th-
tell us.
their
Yeah,
tell us
April
what
Fools.
you
Tell
did.
us your horrible
the,
pranks.
The crazy one.
Or ones that happened to you too. We want to know that one too.
Yeah.
What you did and who did it to you.
Yeah. Nothing criminal though.
Yeah, please don't.
Don't
We don't
confess any
No,
crime.
criminal.
Fine. You know
Actually,
what? You heard it from the
go
boss here.
ahead.
Send us the criminal shit.
Make sure
Yeah.
you say allegedly before you
Yeah.
post anything.
Just use an alien.
We won't recall who you were. But, fine. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you next time.